Hello everyone, welcome back to Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Today we are going to discuss construction of transformer, various parts of transformer in detail. So let's get started. This is a transformer which is three-phase transformer, and these are the various parts we are going to discuss here. This is the main tank in which the core and windings are placed. This is a conservation tank. This is called as a breather. This is called as bushings, which used for insulation purpose. These are the cooling tubes which cools the oil used in this main tank. Then this is tank cover, which is the cover or enclosure for this whole assembly, and this is drain off for the oil to taken out. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. What are the functions of different transformer parts? We have the core, which provides path for the magnetic flux, which is made up of steel or iron. Then primary winding and secondary winding are wound on this core material. Okay, the primary winding receives the energy from AC source, that means it is connected to AC supply. The winding which is connected to AC supply, we call it as a primary winding. And the secondary winding, the function of secondary winding is receives energy from primary winding and delivers it to the load, that means secondary winding is connected to load. The enclosure protects the above component from dirt, moisture and damage. Okay, the enclosure or tank cover protects the above all components from dirt, moisture and damage. Now, let's see here. This is main tank. Okay, this is main tank which is filled with oil, which is called as transformer oil, having good insulation properties. This is a main tank which is fully filled with oil, and in which the core and winding assembly is placed. Whole core and winding assembly is placed in this tank. Okay, and this is a relay, Buchholz relay, we call it as Buchholz relay, and this is breather and this is conservator. What is the purpose of this relay? When in case of internal faults such as insulation breakdown or short circuit in the winding, these faults are sensed by this relay, and when these faults happens, this relay will activate a signal to the circuit breaker, and circuit breaker opens the contacts. That means this transformer is disconnected from the supply in case of this internal faults. Okay, so that the whole assembly can be protected from damage. The conservator is a drum placed above this oil tank, which consists of oil and some space for air. In summer season, when the oil will expand, we have this extra space so that the extra oil can be stored in this conservator. Or in case of winter season, when the oil is contracted, the volume of oil will decrease. We will have here the empty space, and that empty space can be filled with this extra oil. This is the function of this conservator. Also, we have another device here which is called as a breather. Okay, so when the oil will expand, this air is pumped out through this breather, and when the oil is contracted in winter season, this extra oil is filled to this main tank, and the empty space of that oil is filled with the surrounding air or outside air, so that outside air is sucked with the help of this breather. That means breather is, as we breathe, that means exhale, inhale or exhale. In the same way, the transformer also breathe through this breather. Okay. So, and this breather consists of silica gel crystals. This blue one is called as silica gel crystals, which is used to take moisture of the surrounding air. When the air is sucked in this conservator, the moisture contained in the air may damage the insulating property of this transformer oil, deteriorate this insulating property of the transformer oil, that we do not want. So, to taken away that moisture, these silica gels are used, which absorb the moisture and the air can be passed through that silica gel crystals through this breather. Okay, this is the function of breather. Now, let's see, we have seen a core, a rectangular core like this, but it is not a solid piece. Okay, it is not a single solid piece. It consists of different laminations. It consists of different laminations which are insulated with respect to each other and stacked properly to get a required length and width of this core. Okay, this is not a single solid core. It made up of number of laminations. This is individual laminations we have, and this is required to reduce the eddy current loss. Reduce eddy current loss. What is mean by eddy current? We know that, suppose this is our core, and this is primary winding and this is secondary winding. When the primary is connected to supply, the flux will create and it will flow through this core, which gets linked with secondary winding, and in the secondary winding the EMF will be induced. If we use this core as a solid one, then what will happen? This steel core has a conducting properties, so this flux is linking with this core also, so EMF will get into it, and this EMF will circulate a current called as eddy current. And when current is circulating through this core, we will have this eddy current loss, IE square into RE. This is the eddy current loss which causes heating of the core, that we do not want. So, to reduce this eddy current loss, we use this lamination stacked together to form a core. Okay. Then, see here, the windings are placed on different limbs. This is here we have LV and HV winding. Here also we have LV and HV winding, so that the leakage flux can be avoided. Total flux produced by primary winding should be linked with secondary winding, so that we get the maximum use of this magnetic circuit. So we place this LV and HV winding on the same limb. This is called as one limb. This portion is called as limb of a magnetic core. We place the LV means low voltage winding, HV means high voltage winding. We place on the same limb with LV inside HV. We place, suppose this is a core, limb of a core, then first we will place LV winding, then some insulation surround this LV winding and we place HV winding like this. HV winding surrounds LV winding and LV winding surrounds this core. Okay, in this manner. Okay, there are two types of winding we use. One is called as concentric winding, and one is called as sandwich type winding. Let's see what is meant by that. Concentric and sandwich type windings. See here, we have these two types of core construction. One is called as core type and another is called as shell type. Core type means having only one window. This open space inside a core is called as window. So this is window. Here we have only one window. Here we have two windows. This is W1 and W2. This is two open part we have. In case of this core type construction, the LV is placed on this limb and surrounding that HV winding is placed. This type of winding is called as concentric winding. That means LV is placed first. This is the core. Then LV is placed. After some insulation, HV is placed. And this is called as concentric type of winding. Concentric winding. And in case of shell, we use sandwich type of winding. Sandwich type of winding. That means at the central limb, we use some part of HV winding, then we use LV winding, then again HV, then again LV, again HV, then again LV. Suppose this is first LV, then next HV, then LV, then HV, LV and HV. We divide LV and HV winding into different parts and we place in this manner. This type of winding is called as sandwich type winding and we use the sandwich type winding when we have this shell type construction. Okay, see here, this is a path, flux path, which is the only one path in the core type construction, but in case of shell type construction, we have this two paths where this flux phi is divided into these two parallel paths. Here we have two magnetic paths. Here we have only one magnetic path for the flux to pass through it. These both core type and shell type construction have their own advantages. As core type construction, the cooling is better in this case, but the protection of winding is better in this case. So according to requirement, we use these both types of construction of the core type and shell type. Okay. This is all about the construction of transformer and their different parts and their functions. So, in the next session, we will see the EMF equation of the transformer. So, till then, stay tuned and keep learning. Thank you.